Everything all at once is the new A24 Bizarre. What the hell is this movie? Movie that they put out in theaters. I'll be honest, people have been overhyping this movie as one of their weirder ones. It is not that weird. In fact, I think this is the most mainstream A24 movie. Like, I think besides the amount of F bombs and uh, like a couple random things, this movie could have been a PG-13 and it would have been very successful. In fact, I think if this had not come out the same weekend as Sonic, and you know just gotten a fully marketed wide release, I think this movie could have been something big that people latched onto and inspired more creative filmmaking. This movie is insane. If you don't know what this movie is, there is no good way to describe this movie. It is very weird. I'm not denying it's weird. It's just it's one of the most more mainstream A24 movies. This movie is a multiverse movie. Basically, we have this woman and her family, and one day a version of her husband comes to talk to her and introduces her to the concept of the multiverse, and now she has to fight this evil being. And what I really like about this movie is you don't know everything that's happening. It's something I've praised in the my recent reviews of Moon Knight, where it's not this movie is keeping you engaged because you don't know where it's going constantly, and there are questions that aren't answered by the end of scenes, but it's okay because you're still engaged. And this movie is it's so weird. It's a multiverse movie. It's a martial arts movie, but what it really is at the core of this film is a family drama. And I'll talk about that towards the end of this review because I want to give some spoilers. Um, but it was really beautiful. It was very touching, very moving. By the end of the movie, I was in tears. It was beautifully shot. The acting and performances, everything was amazing. The action was amazing. Martial arts was amazing. The beautiful messages of this movie were beautiful, and it's just one of the greatest films I've ever seen in a theater. If you haven't watched an A24 movie, this is a really great one to start with. It is amazing. It's one of the greatest films I've ever watched, to be honest. It is phenomenal, and wow. All right, spoilers. I really enjoyed that how the conflict is resolved in this movie is um is this mother who is having issues with her husband this whole movie. And it's because she's ignoring the good things about her husband and life and failure and having to learn from these things. And she grows above her failure and her flaws and above the bad things that happened to her. You know, her father is a piece of shit. You know, she lies to him about her daughter who's gay because he's a different generation. You know, showing that he's most likely homophobic, and she knows this. She by the end of the movie comes to say, hey, look, my daughter's gay. I don't really care what you think. I don't really care what you think of me. You constantly say I'm not your daughter, but I am your daughter, and that's it. Stands up to him. That was a beautiful scene because it's all these little moments of this family coming together, and the threat of this movie being a daughter who is suffering through pain and other things and not knowing who she is, which is the normal fears of being an adolescent. You know, growing up, you don't really know who you are and you're trying to figure it out, sexuality, other things, and being able to see that. And she's showing her you don't need to be sucked into the failure or ignore the pain. You just have to overcome it. And that's what this movie is about. It's about a universe where there are multiple possibilities and infinite ways things could have gone down, and yet it's all about the choices we make that make those realities and those ideas, and it's so beautiful. It's just, oh my god, I can't even do this movie justice. It is fucking amazing. Watch this movie in the theater. If you can't make it out, I get it, but if you can, damn it, do it. You're doing yourself a disservice. It's gonna leave pretty quick. It is phenomenal. It's one of the greatest films I've ever watched in a theater, and damn it, this is one of my favorite films I've seen in the last 10 years, next to Whiplash.